AGORACOM Talks, your weekly go-to source for the best small-cap headlines for over 65 million investors since 2007. Okay, let's unpack this. We're jumping right into some pretty significant news hitting the wires today from the world of small-cap investments. Got a stack of sources here covering key developments. And yeah, we're treating this like a rapid-fire news update because there's quite a bit just coming across.
That's right. And our mission really is to quickly distill these headlines for you. We want to pinpoint the crucial financial or, operational results and explain why these particular nuggets of information are compelling enough that maybe, just maybe, you'll want to dig a bit deeper right now. We're looking at precious metals, critical minerals, and also some cutting-edge tech. Think drones, AI, tackling climate issues.
Exactly. So let's dive straight in. First up, big news from the ground. Specifically, British Columbia's Golden Triangle. We're looking at Goliath Resources, that's TSX-V GOT. What's the headline hitting the wire from them?
Okay, the big news is Goliath Resources strikes visible gold over 26 meters at Surebet Discovery.
Visible gold.
Right.
That always gets people excited. What are the specifics from the source that really stand out for investors here?
Well, that drill hole, GD2264, obviously, showing visible gold across a solid 26.47 meters, that's the immediate grabber. But what's compelling when you look into the source is how it stacks up against previous high-grade hits in the same system. They mention comparable intervals like 12.03 grams per ton gold equivalent over 10 meters from hole GD2258. And they also remind you of their best result from the Bonanza Zone, 34.52 grams per ton over a hefty 39 meters. Plus, the source details their plan, get this, 40,000 meter drill campaign for 2025.
Wow, okay, 40,000 meters that's a massive program for a company at this stage, isn't it? How does that scale, combined with visible gold and those high grades, translate into potential value?
Well, it's a really strong signal, both of confidence and potentially of scale. Visible gold plus high grades across significant widths, it suggests a robust system, possibly economic. And the sheer size of that drill program, it indicates they really believe they can significantly expand this discovery. Oh, and the source also notes good metallurgy at 92.2% gold recovery. That's crucial for, future potential economics. So this isn't just one hit, it's evidence pointing towards something potentially large, high grade, and scalable.
Okay, good stuff. Moving from what's in the ground to what's happening above it.
Yeah.
Let's switch gears to defense technology. We have a key delivery just announced. This involves Dragonfly, that's NASDAQ DPRO. What's the news flash here?
Right, the latest is Dragonfly delivers cutting-edge modular drone systems to U.S. prime defense contractor.
Delivering to a U.S. prime defense contractor?
Yeah.
That sounds like a pretty significant milestone. What exactly did they deliver, and why does the source make this compelling?
Yeah, it's the first delivery of their Flex FPV systems, FPV being first-person view, which gives the operator that critical immersive perspective. And it's specifically going to a major U.S. military contractor. The intended use: Allied land operations. The source really highlights the system's modular design, tool-free reconfiguration, its high speed over 149 kilometers, and its payload capacity up to 10 pounds. And crucially, it's highlighted as being North American developed, incorporating insights directly from the front lines.
So, beyond just the delivery itself, the fact it's a U.S. prime contractor and designed with that real-world input, why does that matter in the bigger picture?
It's a major validation step for Dragonfly. It positions them within a critical supply chain. And this really reflects the Pentagon's accelerating demand for agile, domestically built unmanned aerial systems, UAS. It's a response to evolving global threats and, frankly, the need for supply chain security. Getting this initial delivery to a top-tier contractor, that's a powerful endorsement.
Makes sense. Okay, back to critical minerals now, and some news suggesting a potentially much larger system might be in play here. This is Power Metallic, TSX-V, PNPN. What's the update?
Okay, the headline reads, Power Metallic hits high-grade copper equivalent at Lion Zone, expands exploration between Nisk and Lion deposits.
High-grade copper equivalent. Okay, break down the numbers from the source that are really getting attention.
Right, the Standout intercept is definitely 12.54 meters, grading an exceptional 10.99% copper equivalent. That's in hole PML 25012A, and the source rightly calls this one of Canada's highest grade polymetallic intercepts this year. Polymetallic meaning, multiple metals adding value. But what makes this especially compelling, I think, is finding what they call lion-style mineralization near their other significant zone, the Nisk zone. Specifically, they hit 11.25 meters of 1.22% copper equivalent near Nisk, which included a nice high-grade 2-meter section. The CEO actually framed this as a proof of concept moment.
Proof of concept, suggesting the zones might actually be connected. That hints at a much bigger story than just one high-grade hole, doesn't it?
Precisely. Exceptionally high grades are one thing, absolutely. But geological evidence suggesting their known high-grade zones might link up across the property, that could be transformational for the potential scale. And remember, these deposits contain essential critical minerals. So they're backing this potential up. They're starting their largest ever drill campaign on June 6, 2025. 6 drills targeting that area between Nisk and Lion to try and prove up that larger system.
Okay, definitely one to watch. Finally, let's look at technology with very real-world impact, linking the markets to the environment. AI6 Solutions, TSX-V. AISX, what's the news from them?
The headline here is, AI6 Solutions wildfire predictions prove accurate amid devastating 2025 Canadian fire season.
Wildfire predictions proving accurate,
Yep.
especially in what sounds like a very difficult fire season. What does the source show to actually validate their technology?
Well, the validation is unfortunately quite stark. Their early 2025 reports flagged specific communities like Fort Smith, Swan Hills, Kenora as high-risk areas for wildfires. And these are exactly the regions now being severely impacted by fires in Canada this season. We're talking over 2 million hectares burned already. So their Wildfire 3.0 technology, which uses advanced modeling, is essentially being validated by these awful events unfolding right now. The source also points to a significant commercial milestone. They've secured a contract with a climate risk division of a publicly traded S&P 500 company.
So their predictive tech isn't just theoretical, it's proving its value in a very urgent, very critical situation.
Exactly. Its accuracy and real-world utility are being, well, undeniably demonstrated. It really validates the growing need for proactive, data-driven approaches to managing climate risk, and, it positions the company well for growth in this essential and sadly expanding sector.
Okay, one more stop. Circling back to gold exploration with Reduced Resources, CSE-RFR.
Yeah, their latest update is a clear gold exploration focus. Renforth advances exploration at Parbec Gold Project, targets new zones.
So strategically, they're shifting focus a bit at their Parbec project in Quebec. They're looking south of the main Cadillac break into these Pontiac sedimentary rocks.
Right, an area that hasn't seen as much drilling as the break itself, but crucially, they did hit visible gold in those sediments before.
Ah, yes, I remember reading that. Drill hole PAR 1886 found it relatively shallow too, around 55 meters down.
Exactly. So that previous hit is kind of the breadcrumb trail they're following now. They've done recent field work, confirmed some key structures they think could host more gold. They've collected samples, aiming to zero in on new targets. And they just raised a bit of capital, about $127,000, to push this work forward.
So the potential here is what? Finding a whole new gold zone.
That's the idea. Potentially expanding the resource footprint significantly outside the main known Parbec deposit area. Definitely one to watch.
Okay, that was a fast look across the board, from striking gold and critical minerals to securing key defense tech contracts and proving climate prediction accuracy in real-time crises.
Yeah, while diverse, these news items all highlight companies with significant recent tangible developments. Hitting high-grade results, securing that first key delivery, finding geological proof of concept for scale, or seeing their tech validated by unfolding events. These are the kinds of moments drawn directly from the source material that can really compel investors, perhaps you, to take a closer look.
Absolutely. And here's maybe a thought for you to consider after hearing these updates. How do these specific company developments, a gold strike, a drone delivery, a critical mineral hit suggesting scale, accurate wildfire predictions, how do they fit into the much bigger picture? Think about those global trends. The worldwide race for central resources, the rapidly evolving nature of defense and security, and that increasing urgency around climate adaptation tech.
Yeah.
How might these seemingly separate headlines actually be intertwined reflections of these massive forces shaping investment landscapes today?
Something to think about. And we encourage you, as always, to go explore the source material yourself for all the details.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.